Hello, I'm Jim from Come Play With Us, and in this video I'm going to be doing a playthrough of Wildlands The Ancients. This is normally a competitive 4-player competitive game. I guess you can play 2 to 4 players normally. But with this expansion, you can play it co-op with 2 players, or you can play solo even. So that's what I'm doing. I'm playing a solo game. I'm also going to be playing with a couple of other expansions. So this map that I'm playing on is the Warlock's Tower. It's part of Pack 1, so it doesn't come in the base game or the Ancients. And I'm also playing with the expansion faction, the Adventurers, who, their special thing is they've got high health, and there's 4 of them instead of the regular 5 in the normal game. And they also have an extra symbol, a healing symbol, so they heal. So that's a little different thing that they do. Okay, so I'll just go over a little bit of the base rules of the game, the regular game, and talk about how this one's a little different, and then I'll explain the differences on this expansion map. Wildlands, basically, the way Wildlands works is you'll start with a hand of 7 cards. Now, in regular Wildlands, you're going to, when you're playing competitively, you basically kind of pick. There's kind of the way you win that game is you either knock everybody out, or you need 5 points to win the regular game, and you get points for knocking other characters out from other players, or by collecting your own crystals. And so at the beginning of that game, you kind of draft locations to put your crystals, you actually draft locations where to put your competitors' crystals and stuff. So and then your starting locations. So there's kind of a neat twist there. In this one, the starting locations and the locations of all these objective tokens are all randomly determined. We just draw these, they call these map cards. And so I did that to start. So you start by placing all the objective tokens for the game. And in this game here, the scenario that you pick will tell you how many of each of the objective tokens go out. So there's always going to be 5 crystals, because the goal is to collect the crystals. There's going to be 3 blank ones in there, 2 pit traps, 3 stasis traps, and 4 treasures. Okay. And the goal of the solo or co-op game is you can either find the 5 ancient crystals and pick them up, or you can knock out all the ancients. In this game, there's just going to be 1, because I'm playing solo, so there's 1 ancient. This one here, this is Magus, and he doesn't start on the board. And then the ancient will also have 2 minions here. So we've got Tempests and Wildfires. There's 1 of each that start on the board, so there's 1 here, and the other one, where's the other one? Up there at the top. And so to start this, so how this game gets set up is first you'll, randomly, based on the map cards you draw, place out the objective tokens, and randomly place out your faction minis, and then randomly place out the enemies that start, the starting enemies that are shown here. And then how the rounds go is you play this pretty much like regular Wildlands. So I'll be playing cards from my hand, and the cards from your hand kind of correspond to your characters. I'll go through how that works. And then so we'll be going around the board trying to collect the crystals while avoiding or fighting the minions. You don't really get anything for killing the minions. There's no points for killing the minions in this game. So you're probably just trying to avoid them or keep their numbers down so they don't become too problematic. So you're going to be trying to kill you. So you got to kind of, way you could lose is all your guys get knocked out. Then you're out of the game. So how does the basic rules of Wildlands work? So how this works is, so I'll show you how a basic card works. So we've got these kind of chevrons on the left here, these gray ones, and they'll have symbols in them. The symbols correspond to the symbols on your different characters' cards. So you'll notice this symbol matches here, so that means I got it. Your default action is I can play this card to move this character. But they also have these flags here. So this flag here means I could do a strong melee attack with this character. Or I could do a basic range attack with this character here. The picture on the card has nothing to do with the actual actions or anything like that. It's just art. And then if there's a flag without a chevron, that means you can use this card to give any character a basic melee attack there. So that's how these cards work. And then you'll have also, I don't know if I have got any in my starting hand here. There's also wild cards. I'll show you how those work when they come up. I don't have any in my starting hand here. And then the different symbols, the way they work. So here's a kind of reference on how the attacks and defends work. So you can use your cards on your turn to do your actions. You can do as many actions as you want to play cards. But then the person you're attacking can defend, so you can react to other players' turns in the regular game, and you can react to the minions here in this game. And so you can play some of the symbols to defend as well. So a regular basic melee attack will defend a basic melee attack or a strong melee attack. Shields and cover will so cover works a little differently, but shield will defend a basic range and a strong range, and shield will also defend an area attack. This cover one is a little different. There's a nuance to that. So this one will block the ranged attacks also, but only if you're in cover. Okay, so what does that mean? So you see there's different spaces on the board here. You've got white spaces with black numbers and dark spaces with white numbers. The dark spaces with white numbers have cover. Okay, so if you're in a spot with cover, then you can use the cover action to block these things. Okay, that's how all the symbols basically work. And then there's some other rules around line of sight and range. So melee attacks, obviously you have to do that with something in the same space as you. Ranged attacks, actually the basic ranged attack has no distance. As long as you have line of sight, you can do a ranged attack. The strong ranged attack, you have to have line of sight, but you can only do it 2 spaces away. So you can only traverse 1 space to get to your target. That's as far as you can go with the strong ranged attack. And then the area attack can only go adjacent. And I should also say the area attacks will also, if one of your own characters is in that square, it'll also damage your own character. Okay, so how does line of sight work? So line of sight works in that you have line of sight from 2 squares if there are these kind of regional, these white lines separating the squares. If you're just traversing those, you have line of sight. So line of sight does not go through art like this. So you see there's a wall here, but there's no white line. So there's no line of sight through this. And there's not many of those spaces in this game. You also do not have line of sight through cover. So you have line of sight into cover, but you don't have line of sight through cover. So this space does not have line of sight to here because it's going through cover. Or normally, so actually that's wrong. This space does not have line of sight to this space because it's through cover. This space is higher elevation. So these arrows here on the lines, that means this is a higher elevation spot. The arrows point to the higher elevation. And higher elevation spots have line of sight, have line of sight to other high elevation spots or lower elevation spots, but they do not have line of sight through higher elevation spots to lower elevation. So these 2 spots are higher elevation, right? So I would have line of sight to here. I would have line of sight to here, and actually to all these squares around. But I do not have line of sight from here to here because it goes through another space that's higher elevation. So it's kind of intuitive how that works. And then of course lower elevation spots do not have line of sight to higher elevation spots, except for the area attacks. The area attacks can go to a higher elevation. So that's the basic rules of how line of sight works. And the special things about this map has these special portal spaces. They have this kind of sundial. So we've got this space here, got a space up here, one up there, and then this really special space here. Those spaces are all considered adjacent. They're portals. And so they're all adjacent to each other. So all the rules of adjacency apply to those spaces. And this space is very special in that this space has line of sight to any space on the board. kind of a magic spot. That's the top of the tower. Okay, so that's how the basic mechanics of this game work. And of course, when you move, you only move one space adjacent. And so the turn structure is going to go, and I'll just explain more rules as we go here. So you start with a player, so I can play as many actions as I want out of my hand. So I'm going to play my turn, I'll play, and when I'm done playing, then I will draw 3 cards or back up to 7, whatever happens first, and then then we will take a minion turn, and then if the ancient one is on the board, then the ancient one will take their turn, and they're controlled by these decks of cards here. Okay, so let's start. So basically, I think that's a good starting. I have not played the co-op that much, so I'm not going to pretend I have good strategy here or anything. So I think the good way to start is just you kind of want to find the crystal. So maybe we've only got 2 enemies on the board, so I'm not going to worry about them too much. And that one's pretty far away. This one's kind of close, so I might want to worry about him a bit. But I do have higher elevation on him, so I could take a look to see. So this guy here is the guy with the hammer, so that's Tom here. I do have a lot of his cards in my hand. He's got a heal, a shield. Yeah, but he's only got a melee attack. He doesn't have any ranged attacks, so he's not going to be able to hit that guy. Then I've got Harm over here, and he's also a melee guy. So really, Lena or Chris are the ones that have ranged, and yeah, so Chris. But Chris is, where is Chris? Okay, Chris is right here. So Chris actually would have line of sight to that guy. As long as I can trace a line from the middle, from anywhere on this circle to anywhere on that circle, and I can. So yeah, I could use a basic ranged attack on her, and this guy's only got 2 health. So actually I could try to eliminate that guy right away. You know, maybe I will. Maybe I'll take that guy out. So how this works is I'll play one of this cards, so you can see that that's her symbol. She's right here, and she has line of sight, so she can do 1 area damage, but they get to react. So whenever you play a card, you draw. So this is a minion that I'm attacking, so draw a minion card, and then the minion card, you look up which minion it is. So I'm playing against this orange one here, which is the Tempest, and you look at the bottom thing. So this top one is their action that they do if it was their turn, and this one here is the reaction. So this one says that they like to do the cover action, but the minion is not in cover, so they would not be able to block. No, so if they were in cover, they would be able to block my attack, right? Because I'm doing a basic ranged attack. So if they were in cover using the cover symbol, they would be able to block it. But since they are not, they don't, and they will take 1 damage. So that is 1 damage on that minion, and then I will do a second attack. So I have another card for that character, the same attack. So I'll do another reaction here, and this time they block. So a shield will block that, and I don't have. I've just got a melee for her. I mean, I've got more symbols for her, so I could move her in and try to get to that character, but I don't have enough. Although I do have some. I could do 2 moves here and then melee, because this melee can be used for all the characters if I want to finish it off. But I don't think I'm gonna waste those actions. I'll let that one character come to me. I think the next thing I want to probably start getting these objective tokens if I can. So who do I want to move? So, well, I could move her here and then look at this objective token. So let's do that. So this is a shield I can use with anybody, so maybe I want to keep that one handy. Maybe I'll just use this one. So I'm just using this one for the basic now to do a move. I'll move here so that I can still take a shot at that guy maybe next turn. And then the tokens, in a solo game, the tokens you flip for free. And that's a nothing. So just basically eliminating 1 option there. Okay, and then, so I do have lots of cards for the hammer character here. So I could move him, and yeah, because he's not going to be using this heal anytime. Although it's probably good to keep these default ones that I could use for anybody, especially if I want to block. Yeah, so maybe I'll move him down here. And to move down from elevation is just one move, but to move up into elevation is you need 2 moves to do that. But I can move down for free, so I think I will spend one. I'll spend this card to move him here and flip this token. Okay, so that's a stasis trap. And those are kind of bad news. So the way those guys work, so I have 3 stasis traps in this game, and the stasis trap basically traps him in that space. So when you activate a stasis trap, you place a trap underneath a character, then the character is ensnared and cannot take move or climb actions until the trap has been removed. And then when all the stasis traps in this scenario have been revealed, or all the characters in a single faction have been ensnared, remove all the revealed stasis traps. And when an ensnared character has been knocked out, or a treasure card lets a character move, remove the corresponding stasis trap. So he's kind of stuck there for now until either we find the other 2 stasis traps, or, well, there's only 3, so not all our characters are going to get caught. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. So these cards get discarded. And at the end of my turn, I draw back up 3 or up to 7. So I've only got 3 cards, so I'll just draw 3 more. Okay, and now the minions are going to go. So the minions. Okay, so you start with the minion in the lowest number squared. So we've got one at 3 there and one at 35. So this minion is going to go first, the wildfire. And he's going to move and do a melee attack if he can towards the closest character. And I do believe the minions they ignore the terrain. So they can just climb up on their own. Yeah, they don't need 2 moves to go. So closest one, this guy's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to move 1 towards that character. So I guess he can move this way. Does that get him closer? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, yeah. So he's going to move there, but of course he can't do his melee attack, so he won't do the melee attack. Okay. And then we have the blue, and on all the, you only draw 1 card for all the minions on the board. So all the red minions, if we had more than 1, would be doing this action, and all the orange minions do this action. So this guy is going to do an area attack if he can, but there's nobody adjacent to him. And keep in mind, he could hit that square too. So he's got nobody to do an area attack against. Okay, and the last thing you do is the scenario step, or whatever. And this one says summon wildfire. Okay, and then we have a special rule in this scenario for solo, elemental surge. So whenever you finish resolving the scenario effect on a minion card, which is this one, so when we finish resolving that, instead of discarding it, we set it aside. And then we resolve all minion actions, but not the scenario effects on all other set aside minion cards. Okay. Then after resolving the set aside cards, if there are now 3 or more cards set aside, shuffle the set aside cards and discard minion cards, and then place them on the bottom of the minion deck. Okay, so we're going to do the summon wildfire, and then this is going to get set aside. Okay, so to summon a new token, you just draw another one of these map cards. So the new wildfire is going to go into space 1. Okay, and now it's back to me. Okay, so I did draw one of these special wild cards now. So what these ones are kind of like wild. So this one will let any of my characters move if I use it for this effect. If I use it for this effect, I can draw 2 more cards. And if I use this, I can interrupt. So how interrupts work interrupts normally in the normal game, you could play at any time on somebody else's turn. and you kind of interrupt their turn, and then you can do some actions, and then when you're done, it goes back to that player's turn. And then, of course, they could interrupt or interrupt, and it can kind of go back and forth like that. In the co-op game, you can use it to, once you reveal the minion action, you can use it to interrupt their action. So, if I saw, if you flip this up, and I was going to be in real trouble with this area attack, right? I could play my interrupt to kind of move my characters out of that square. Okay, so kind of stuck there. Yeah, so this guy's not going to be moving, so that's Tom. So he's kind of out of it. I guess he could do ranged attacks, but that's about all he could do, and he's not a ranged guy. So I could finish this guy off. So maybe I'll move this guy closer and try to finish this guy off, and I could look at this on the way, because I got lots of his cards in here. So I guess I could use any one of these. Okay, so I'll just play this one here to move one here. Let's see what this is. So eliminated another one there, and then I'll move him again. I'll move him here, and then I'll use him to do a melee attack. And the minion will get to react to that. The minion is not in cover, and that doesn't block melee anyways. The cover doesn't block melee, so that minion is gone. Okay, and I'm down to 3 cards. So yeah, I think I could use this to draw 2 more cards and kind of keep going, but I think I'll save that for now, just in case I want to do an interrupt or something. Draw back up my 3. Okay, and then now we're back to the minion's turn. Okay, so lowest space minion. So it's going to be the wildfire again. So I'll start with 1 in space 1, and they're going to do a melee attack. But there's nobody in their space, so neither of them are going to do anything. And then the Tempest is going to move towards the closest, but we have no Tempest left on the board. I just took it out, so none of that's going to happen. So now we're going to summon a new Tempest. So the new Tempest will get summoned to 16. Tempest goes in 16 over here. Okay, and then we're going to set this aside, and then trigger all the other ones that are already set aside. So that's this one here. So now these wildfires are going to move and do a melee. So this one's going to move here. This one will move. Oh, that means 1, 2, 3 from that guy. 1, 2, 3. If it's even, I get to choose. I'll move this way. And I got a Tempest on the board now. He's going to do an area attack, but he's got nobody to do an area attack against. Okay, so that will get set aside. So those guys can move quite a bit, so it'd probably be good to keep them under control. So I might want to see if I can hit this one or this one with that lane. Although she's in cover on lower ground. No, she's not in cover. Sorry, he's in cover. What she got? She can do an area effect, which is not going to do much. Oh, she's got a strong range attack, but she can't shoot through cover here, so she's got to move here to do that. Well, we could use her. She's not in cover. She can't use that. Well, if I move her here, she's got high ground on this guy. So let's do that, and I'll get to take a peek at that. I'll get to see what that token is. So I'll move her this way. Put that. Oh, okay, she hit a pit trap. Oh yay. So the pit traps. Okay, so for the pit traps, when you activate a pit trap, draw 2 cards from the action deck and place them in the discard pile. If one of the drawn cards is linked to the character who revealed the object, or if it shows a move symbol, there is no effect. Otherwise, all characters in the space take 1 damage and remove the pit trap from the board. Okay, so we're going to draw 2 cards, and we're looking for her symbols or that to not get damaged. So we got her symbol here, so she is okay. She doesn't take damage from that pit trap. So that one's gone. Okay, she's got line of sight on that guy. He's not in cover, so she could use her strong ranged attack here, and then he will get to. So he's got a melee here, which does not block strong range attacks. So that takes him right out. Okay, and then, I mean, maybe I should keep moving her. She's not going to be able to do this area attack, so maybe I'll just move her again and see what this token is here. Oh, wait a minute, you know what? I did that wrong. I did that wrong. I did that totally wrong. I gotta reverse this back a bit. The arrow's pointing this way, so this is the higher elevation. Yeah, I don't know what it's thinking there. That's the higher elevation. So I can't hit him with that, but I could hit him with an area attack. So I'll do that instead. And then that kind of replays what we did, except that he's only going to take 1 damage. And yeah, that's all she could do. And I got 4 cards left here. Yeah, I probably want her. She can trick that out, or no, she's not gonna be able to use. Well, she'd probably hang on to this if the wildfire comes for her. So yeah, maybe I'll hang on to these and end my turn there, and then I'll draw back up to my full hand size. Okay, minion's turn. Okay, so the wildfires go first. So that one is going to go first. It's just doing a melee, so it's not going to do anything. Same with that one. And this Tempest is going to move and do an area attack. Yeah, I don't think I think he stays there, because if he moves in here and does an area attack, he'll damage himself. So he will not move if he's in range to do his attack. So he'll just do an area attack back to me. Oh, and I don't discard that, sorry. So let's see what I can do. So he's going to do 1 damage to me unless I block that. So I'm looking for a shield. She does have a shield here. So I can play this as a reaction and block that. Okay, and then we'll set this one aside. And now these 2 previous ones will trigger. So I'll start with the wildfire again. So I believe, what does it say? We go then resolve all actions, but not the scenario effects on all other set aside mission cards, starting with the card drawn first. So let's this was one I drew first, so I'll start with this one. So the wildfires will do a melee attack, but again, they're not in a square. And then the tempests will move. So this guy is going to move here into her square. Okay, so that's that one. And then this one, the wildfires are going to move and then do a melee attack. Okay, so can't quite reach him yet, or her. So they're just going to move closer, and then the Tempest is going to do an area attack. Now, does he do an... But that would damage himself. So what happens there? Okay, so it will attack. And then it will draw its own card for its own reaction to that. Okay, so what can I do first? So I need a shield. So I can play this shield here, because any character can use that shield. So I'll play that shield. And then since it's attacking itself also, it will draw a card, and it also got a shield, so it's not doing damage to you. Neither of us took a damage. Okay, so now we have, after resolving the set-aside cards, if there are now 3 or more cards set aside, then we shuffle the set-aside and any discarded cards and place them on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so these are going to get shuffled. And put on the bottom. Okay. Okay, my turn. Yeah, and there's no movement restrictions for going through or leaving spaces with enemies, so there's no penalty if I want to move out of this square to here. There's no penalty to do that. She does have the strong range, and I do believe I do believe I can use that. Always have line of sight to the space you're in, so I could play that strong attack here. Now, I mean, that's kind of overkill on that character. She could also attack this guy with that. I mean, he's in covers, but I can still attack him. I mean, he could just use a cover block if he has that. I think that's probably better because I don't want to waste my strong one. So I'm going to do the strong one on that character. See what he gets. Hope he doesn't get a shield. Oh, he got the cover. So block that. And she does not have any melee. And she can't. Well, I could move her because I've got all these things. So I'm gonna play one of these to draw 2 more cards. Okay, so I got 2 more cards here, and now she's got a shield, which she could also move. So I'm gonna use this to move her. So I'll move her here. Flip that up. Oh, another pit trap. Well, I'm taking out all the traps. Okay. Okay, so we got her symbol again, so she is safe from the pit trap. Pit trap's gone. Okay. Okay. What do I have left to do here? Well, I've been focusing on her quite a bit, but maybe I should start searching down here. So I'm going to use, since he's nowhere in the action here, I'm going to use him to move down here. Yeah, I'm moving down, so I can do that. It takes 1 move. And look at that, crystal shard. Okay, so now to pick up that crystal shard, I have to play 3 cards with my character's symbol on it, or if any of my characters are knocked out of the game, then I can use 3 cards with the knocked out character symbol, but I can't mix and match. I could also use 3 wild cards to do it, which I spent 1 of those. So, yeah, so I can't pick that up yet, but at least I know where one of those crystals are, so that's awesome. I'll end my turn there. And, I'll drop 3 more cards. Right, so let's see what the minions are doing. Okay, so these are still in the lower space. So melee attack, not going to do anything. Neither of them will do anything with the melee attack. So this guy's going to be doing another area attack, so he can do an area attack. And then this will get set aside. And we won't trigger anything because there's nothing there. Oh, sorry. Yeah, can't forget to do this. I think I forgot to do the scenario effect on the last one. So first I gotta see if I can block that area attack. So I need a shield to do that. So she's got no shields. Okay, so she's got no shields, so she is going to take 1 damage. Okay. And then now we gotta do the scenario effect, and then this gets decided. So we gotta advance the tracker. So this is the tracker here, so this will advance here, and then this will take effect. Okay, so that says draw a minion card, resolve all minion actions, and then discard it. So we'll draw a minion card. Oh, and I should say the other way that I can lose the game is if this scenario tracker gets to the end here. You'll see there's lose the game at the end of here. So yeah, that's the second way I could lose. So there's a bit of a timer on the game. Okay, so these guys are moving immediately. Okay, that's bad news for me. Because that's 2 attacks. So we'll start with the lower zone here. So this guy will move here and attack her with a melee attack. Can she block melee? So to block melee, I need a melee, but she is not melee. So I think she is going to get hit again, unless I have a general melee. How many cards do I have here? I have 6. So I could do an interrupt. And then play this to draw another 2 cards to see if I could get a melee. Now I could get like a general melee. I don't think she has. Now also on your reference card, it'll tell you the ratio of cards for each of the characters. So you'll see her character here has no melee cards. So I'm not going to be able to draw a melee card for her. I could just draw one that applies to everybody. So there's no point in doing that. So I'll just take the 2nd point of damage. So she's down to half health. But I believe she has a heal. Does she have a heal? No. Just this character has a heal. And he can heal anybody adjacent to him. The square adjacent to him. But he is stuck. So I'd have to move her all the way over to him to get that, take advantage of that. Okay, and this character is going to move in here and do a melee attack to Tom there. And so can Tom block that? Tom can. Tom has a melee symbol, so he can block the melee attack. So he will not take a damage. Okay, and then the Tempest is going to do an area attack. So she'll need a shield to block that, which of course she doesn't have a shield. Oh, she's getting her butt whooped here. Now I could try to do my interrupt and then draw 2 cards and see what I can do. Since she is down to 2 health, I might want to do that. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do the interrupt. So now I can play my actions because I've interrupted the action. So I'll play this to draw 2 cards, and hopefully I draw something good here. So she just keeps drawing area attacks. So I got no shields for her, no general shields. And so she is going to be taking a damage. So she is almost dead now. And then, of course, this character is also getting attacked by the area attack. So they will draw a reaction. And their reaction is cover. We're not in cover. Doesn't matter. Cover doesn't matter for area damage attacks. So he will also take a damage. Okay. Ouch. Okay. So that's it for that turn. And now it's back to me. I burned a bunch of cards there. Okay, so now she can take care of that. Now she could do the strong attack against the wildfire that's in her space. So what has he got here? He drew a shield. So yeah, that blocked that. So that sucks. And she could do, that's a heal. So she could also do area attack against this guy here. So let's try that. Hope it doesn't block that. He got a melee, so that's not blocked. So that takes out this guy. Yeah, at least I got rid of one of them. She is probably going to die next turn. Yeah, she can move 1. That's pretty much her only chance of surviving here. So she can't move in this direction. She can move back that way. So maybe I will move her back that way. Try to keep her from dying. Yeah, maybe I can go through the portal and kind of get out over here. Yeah, so that's all I'm gonna do. Let's see the rest of my cards for my turn. So that is that. Let's see what the minions do. Okay, so who do we got here? So he's in 12. That one's in 30. Oh, we got no Tempest on the board again, so that one will go first. And, oh, darn, he's going to do a move and a melee. So that's not what I wanted. So he's moving and melee attack. So I didn't want him to move. And she has got no way of defending that, so she is out. Okay, so one character down. Okay, and the other one, he's not going to move. He's just going to do melee attack on Tom here. So do I have any defense? Tom has a shield, but that shields only work against ranged attack. So yeah, can't do anything against that. So Tom is going to be taking 8 damage. But Tom can heal. He's the one that can heal. So okay, and there's no Tempest on the board right now, but we're going to be summoning one. So we'll summon one to 8. Where's 8? Oh, up here. Okay. Okay, so then we're done that. So this will get set aside, and then we will activate this card again. Okay, so now they're in the same space. So Tempest will do area attack, but there's nobody nearby. These guys will do melee. Nobody there, but they will do another melee attack on Tom, and Tom is going to take another damage. Let's keep these in stack order. Wow. Not going well here if we're only having a couple of guys on the board. Okay, did I forget to draw back? I think I forgot to draw back up last turn. I should have. Oh, man, that would have really affected. Oh, so I would have had a card for her. But she probably would have been dead anyways. Okay, so that's unfortunate that I forgot to draw up my cards. Okay. At least I think I did. Okay, so let's see what we want to do here. So can Tom doesn't have any of his heals. He still can't move. He's kind of stuck there. Can Tom attack? No. He's going to need some help. Man, this is a tough map to move around in. I guess you got a portal around. So I guess this character here can portal. Although, you know what? This character is standing on a crystal. So let's try to win the game here. So she'll play these 3 cards here, pick up this crystal. Okay, so, and they go on the character that picked them up. Okay, so we're 1 crystal down there. And you know what? I need some more cards here. So I'm going to try to get my cards back up. My discard deck's done, so I'll shuffle these back up. Draw 2. Let's play that. Get 2 more cards. Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to these and draw my 3 back up at the end of my turn this time. Make sure I don't forget to do that. Okay. Then the minions go. Okay, so start with the Tempest is moving. So I guess we should probably count these squares too for move closest, because then you'd be closest to this person. So okay, so we'll move here. Because that's 3 away from that guy, or 1, 2, 3, yeah, quite a ways from that one. And the wildfires, they're just going to do a melee attack. So poor Tom is getting attacked again. Hopefully we got something. Oh yeah, Tom needs a sword or a melee. He does not have a melee. So I can do an interrupt here on this before they do that, and then I could move. Oh no, I can't move. Tom is stuck. Ah, man. Tom is. Oh, wait a minute. I can use this melee here. There we go. This is a generic melee I can use for anybody, so I will use this melee to block that attack. Okay, there. Tom's got to do some damage here. Okay, so I'm summoning another Tempest. $39. Oh, down here. Okay, and then this will get set aside, and then we will trigger these again. This is nasty. Okay, so I guess this guy's in 5, so these guys will go first. Or he'll go first. So he does an area attack, which is not going to do anything. And then this guy will do an area attack, so that targets that guy. So can have a shield. He's in cover. Does cover block? Cover does not block area attacks. I've got no shield, so she will take 1 damage. Oh, she's only got 3 health. Okay. And which one was I doing here? Okay, this one here. Okay, so I've done the Tempests, and I'm going to do the Wildfires. They're just doing a melee attack, so that's Tom's getting attacked again. And Tom needs a melee. And he's not going to have one, so he's taking another damage. Okay, I think Tom's probably toast here, because now we got to do this card again. So the Tempest is moving. So move here. Then next would be this guy here, who's going to move and attack. So he'll also move there, not attack. That guy will attack. Tom can't defend, so Tom is out. 2 dies down. Not having a good time here. Okay, and the Tempests are just moving, so they will move here. Okay, that's it. We're done with these, and now we got 3 again, so we will shuffle these up and put them on the bottom. So they get pretty nasty pretty quick. Okay, what do I want to do here? Okay, she is in trouble. Probably want to make her run away. So let's just gotta come around. They haven't been doing area attacks. They seem to be melee. These guys seem to be melee, and then of course the area attack they've been doing. So to area I need shields. So she's got no shields. So yeah, I should probably not worry about moving her away. Let's move her this way, because they don't seem to move very fast. So let's run the heck away and see if we can get more crystals. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have to. So let's move her here. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so we got a treasure card. Okay, so we got lightning rod. So this means it's kind of like always can be used, so it's not a one-time use one. So whenever this character collects an ancient crystal, deal 2 damage to a minion or an ancient in line of sight. Nice. Yeah, I guess that would be unblockable, I'm guessing. So that's Chris here who's got the lightning rod. So that under here. Perfect. Okay, so she can go try and reveal this last. She's got another card here, so I'm going to try and see what this last token is here and get me far away from those guys. Another shard. Okay, perfect. So she can just stand here until she can get that shard and lure them in and attack them. Okay, so that's it for my turn. Need to draw back up 3 cards. Okay, now the minion's turn. Okay, so lowest space first is up there. I think that's what's that? That's a fire, wildfire. So they are It's just doing a melee attack, which can't do. Then the next one would be that one there. So nobody there killed that guy. And then we have these two guys in the same space. They're both going to move and do an area damage. So move this way. They can't area damage anybody. So that's it for that. But then we're going to summon another Tempest, and then this gets set aside. So another Tempest going in 28. Oof. They are getting quite a few of those. Okay, way up there at least. Nobody's up there. Although that's where all the objective tokens are, so gonna have to get up there eventually. Especially since I have 5 of these crystals to pick up, and I've only picked up 1. I don't think I'm gonna survive until the ancient one gets on the. Although the ancient one will get onto the board next time the track moves, so maybe we'll have to go for the ancient one because I don't think we're getting these guys. So it's my turn now. So I'm looking for 3. Well, now I can use symbols from people that are knocked out. So I've got 2 guys knocked out. So Alina and Tom. So I can use their. I have 3 of each of their symbols. So Alina, I've only got 1. Tom, I've got 2. So not quite there yet. But I can use their symbols to pick up that shard. Okay, so I don't know. Do we want to go on the offensive here? Kind of whittle these guys down before they start, because these guys are way up there, so they're probably not going to bother us. Or I could just try to swing them around here and start going for these crystals. Yeah, because this guy's going to start coming for me, so maybe that will move him. I'm going to spend 2 move to get him up there. So you know what? Let's draw. Let's draw 2 cards. Maybe I will get lucky and I can pick up that shard. I did get lucky. Okay, so I've got these 3 here. Maybe I'm gonna wait for that. So my lightning rod, they have to be in line of sight. I can't shoot through cover, so they're not in line of sight yet. So I probably want to hold off on that. Yeah, and I've got a heck of a lot of melee for harm there. So then maybe well, I can't move into that space. Taking advantage of this. Yeah, it would have been nice to get Alina up into here. She could have just wailed on everybody from there. That's probably a better strategy when you're on this map. But it's the first time I played this map, so. Okay, so. Well, I really got to get him up here. So I'll spend 2. Oh, these are general melees too. Oh, he's got a heck of a lot. Let's use the one. I mean, I'm killing my defense here, but he's got a lot of. These 2 cards to get him up here. And yeah, he's got a lot of melee, but I got a lot of walking to do. Maybe I'll just get him there. Because I got to get into here regardless of anything. So maybe I'll spend 1 more of those. And I'll save these ones. So he's got 3 defense here. But I gotta. What if the crystals are up here? And it's hard to get up here. So maybe I'll start. Maybe I'll have to get to those. Let's do that. And I'll hang on to these for defense. I gotta check these 3 out while I'm up here because it takes too hard to get up. So I think that's what I'll do. Okay, so and I gotta remember, draw my next 3. Okay. What are the minions gonna do? Okay, so we've got okay, so that one at the top first is gonna move twice. So I'm just gonna, well, actually, who's closer now? 1, 2, he's 3 away. 1, 2, they're both 3 away. So I guess we go towards him. So we'll be moving 2 this way. And then that's it. So that he'll move 2 that way. And then the next lowest, so this is space right here, 41. So that'd be 28 here. They're just doing a melee attack, so not going to do anything. And then this guy would move. He's moving to, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so he's going to go 1, 2 to there. And then these guys are just doing melee, so they're not going to move. And then we got to summon a Tempest. Man, these guys are just flooding the board. Okay, 36. 36 here, and then we trigger the set aside card. So now we're up to this guy here, he's in 12. So he's just doing melee, so he's not going to do anything. And then we're doing these guys up here. So in space number 20, he's going to move an area attack. So there's not much he can do. That guy's going to move there. This guy's just doing melee. So it's down to these guys here. So move and area attack. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. He's in a lower number, so I guess yeah, it's gonna go here. And these guys will move here and area attack. So it's 2 area attacks on Chris there. Ouch. Alright, so let's see if Chris can. So I need shields for that. Really? She's got nothing. Got no shields. Yeah, so she would take 2. So she's toast. So this goes to the next person who's still up. So we've only got 1 up. I think the treasure's discarded. So it's all up to Harm now. Okay. Okay, so... Well, man. There's too many guys, dude. So we know they're going to move twice and attack. They're all going to attack. Don't think he's going to have to go on the offensive here. And then the other minions are going to move area attack and melee. So they're only going to move once. So he's going to be in range to area attack me. These guys will not. So... he can block a melee attack. Okay, so... Yeah, he's going to be taking numerous melee attacks, right? 1, 2... just 2 melee attacks if I go here. So I could say I could block both of those. So maybe I'll save those to block the melee attacks, and then I can use these cards to move. So let's spend one of these here to move here. Let's see what this is. Another treasure. Grail. If this character would be knocked out, instead prevent all damage to them and remove all damage tokens from their character card, then discard this card. Oh, perfect time to get that. Oh yes, so he's got Grail. So he's got protection. Okay, and then I'll only got 1 more move, but it's, you know, I could defend myself with this, so I think I'm just going to hang on to these. Well, hang on. No, I want to spend 1 more card because it's a waste if I don't. So probably move him back. Go back towards this guy, see what this one is. And just try to barely hang in there. Okay. What do we got here? Oh man, there's going to be so much movement here. These are the hardest turns, but then when they get the double 3 turns basically here. Okay, so number 12 here, he's going to move and attack. So he'll move here. Oh no, he can't move there. These aren't adjacent, so he's got to move here. Okay, so he's not going to be able to attack from there. Next space. Where's this guy on 31? This one's on 32. These guys are on 40. Okay, so 31 next. He's going to move twice. 1, 2. And then this guy is going to move here and do a melee attack on me. Okay, so I can block that. So I will block melee attack. Okay, that was 32 there. So 33, these guys are going to move twice. That is no good. Okay, and then we're just left with these guys who are also going to move twice. So move up this way. Oh, okay. Now comes the real trouble. Okay, so now these ones. So we'll execute this one first. So I guess my space will happen first. Okay, so 2 guys are going to do area damage. Do I have any shields? No, I have no generic shields, and he has no shields. So he is going to take 2 damage. But they are also going to take 2 damage. Everybody in that square. So it's 2 separate attacks. So I guess I draw 2 cards, I guess. So the first one, they both block the first area one. That sucks. And the second area attack, they both block it again. Awesome. So, okay. Okay, so that's these 2 guys done. Then the next one to go will be this one here. So they're just doing a melee, which I can block. Okay, so I'll block that. Block the melee. Okay, and then the next. Okay, so this guy's not gonna be able to do anything, and then so it'll be these guys that can move. So they can move here and they can both do an area attack here. So I'm looking at another 2 area attacks. So yeah, he's going to take another 2 damage. And these guys, everybody in there. Okay, so shield. These guys always got shields by the looks of it. So they don't take anything. Okay, so that was this card. Now we got this one. Okay, so everybody in that space again. So they're all going to do melee. These 2 guys are going to do melee attack on me. At least these guys aren't going to do anything. So I got to block another 2 melee. Which now I can't do. So he is dead. So that triggers off this. So I guess the first melee attack kills me. Clears this off, and then the second melee attack I would take damage. Okay, and then these guys are just moving, so they're not attacking. So I'm in a really bad spot there, but at least these cards are all getting shuffled now. Okay, and now I can't do a whole heck of a lot here. So let's draw another 2 cards. Let's see if I get something good. Okay, this time, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to move. Yeah, I got nothing here. Guess I could draw another 2 cards. Or move away. Yeah, really got to move far though, so I can do 2 moves. would hopefully get me out of trouble, but not guaranteed. Or I could use this to draw another 2 cards, which, I think I'll do. Yeah, I did not draw well. So I still can do 2 moves, or I could try to take out a couple of these guys, but there's just too many around me. And the problem is there's 2 stasis traps out there still, so this this could be a stasis trap, even if I do try to go there. Well, let's try to take some of these guys out. I'm gonna try to take that guy out. Let's do. And of course he blocks it. Man, these guys are just getting. I'm not getting any of the draws here. And let's try again. Okay, that time he didn't block it, so I at least got rid of this guy. But that is literally all I can do. This hand. So I'm going to draw 2 up. Now I'm kind of in a position where I can't even use my cards anymore. Okay, I think I'm going to call it there. Because I'm probably not going to make it through this turn anyways. So that's how this game plays. As you can see, I didn't do very good, but I'm not very good at this yet. But yeah, that's how it works. So I think it's an interesting way to play this game. It does allow you to play the mostly the same rules against a computer opponent, and it works fairly well. So as usual, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.